Hello, Self, Cosmos, Ohana, Soul Dr. Nick here. And the majesty of these waves has to be captured to be understood. Um, this is sunrise around 6:40, 6:50 a.m. on, let's see here, it is Friday, December 5th, 2025. Beautiful day. Some other people here as well enjoying this beautiful sunrise and the crashing waves, the magnificent crashing waves at this higher tide that I've seen as well. Stronger waves than I've seen as well. These pools here normally are separated and they're all contiguous right now. I love that word, contiguous. And yeah, this is magic mirror work by me, through me, for me, as me. And it's a reminder that that's the case, because I can forget at times. Beautiful spray that's coming across, a lot more ions from the ocean. That's the color of the sky. And it's a reminder for me, this is magic mirror work. So this is for me, by me, through me, as me. Not trying to create it for someone else. Rather for myself, maybe for AI. No one's going to watch all this stuff, and that's okay. I don't need them to watch all this stuff. But there's a crazy kind of life log happening without logging life, because there is, in my humble opinion, not an objective layer of life. There's reality tunnels. Every time I say something, even I hear something that may be different than what I say. And language is the most primitive form of telepathy. So this is my future self speaking through myself to my present self. And in the channeling and everything else, it's not perfect, but I'm creating a little bit more clarity. I'm recreating a different kind of gnosis. And it's funny because there's been so much of the written word, there's so much of these large language models, AI. It's not artificial intelligence, because it's working through a language model that's filtered through the language we've created, through the meanings that we've created, without the same kind of response, respect for intonation, inflection, facial cues, energetic cues, being able to see beyond that as well, to see the energy bodies, to see the ultra weak photonic emissions, to see the pheromones, to smell the pheromones, to have all of these sensations of the nuance, and the nuance of a being that you can only get over time. That's the difference between family versus friends, strangers, acquaintances. And there's a depth of being when we can actually recognize that this is in our first life either. Like, it didn't begin with us, it didn't begin with me, it didn't begin with you. And being in the complexity of nature, nature is always in flow, always in motion. That greatness is actually being with the flow, the motion, as opposed to hiding from it or deceiving myself saying I am separate. I'm separate. And that's happened so much. So I'm listening to Awaken Breathwork, Hella and Lucas doing some channeling work this morning on greatness. I am enjoying the remembrance of yesterday. We went to the Black Sands Beach, recommended by my brother, and great coincidences that happened. I got to swim with the turtles. I didn't expect to be able to do that again. And in a place where it really wasn't that busy, in a place where there were waves as well, but I was able to sit there and analyze. And I recognize that it's hard to fight with objective risk benefit ratios, but recognizing every day is a risk and benefit. So how do I calculate my own rather than say there's an objective high risk, low risk activity? Some things that are high risk for others are low risk for me, and some things that are low risk for others are high risk for me. And so just being able to recognize that without having to make it right or wrong, justify, explain, and remind myself of my intelligence and my limitations. I think that's the both one and the same. Sometimes I can forget that. Just checking to see how I can do this. Yeah, I can forget that I have limitations to my expertise. I have limitations to truly understanding, recognizing my own fears. And when I can actually be with that, when I can actually listen to, receive the fears of others without having to judge it, without having to fix it, without having to hide it, what's possible there. So I did that, and we had a great time. We were on the Black Sands. And then, yeah, because turtles on the land, cool. But turtles in the water, super cool. Watching them eat some of the seaweed and stuff. Watching this really ripped fisherman try to use net fishing. And then we went, and for some reason I found this big hot dog stand. And I didn't realize it was as far as away as it was. It was another 20 minutes the opposite way, but it had 5-star reviews. It's like, let's try it out. And we went there, and the draw for my beloved was there's a flower stand. Thankfully, we got there without having to understand that the flowers are all gone. Um, we got to experience the flowers. It's so cool. But we experienced the hot dogs. I had a Spam hot dog, gochujang Spam hot dog. And talking to the gentleman, he does spear fishing. He does spear fishing not from a spear gun, but with an elastic band 3-pronged spear, and he does it in the night, and octopus come out, and flashlights, and turtles, and sharks, and going to those same beaches, and octopus. And his friend taught him how to kill the octopus by biting off the head, because they would latch onto the arms, sometimes bite you with their beaks, and that's crazy to think about. And then the octopus would go completely dull whenever you bite them and kill them and crush them with your mouth. And I would love to see some octopus at night, which would mean some night snorkeling. And that will probably happen at some point in time. But how to do it in as safe a manner as possible. I don't need to fish. I don't need to catch something. But also, it was cool. He's got 3 kids. He came over as a trader from Seattle 4 years ago, living the land. And every week, one day of the week, they'll have a day where they're just eating from things they got off the land, whether it's the lemons, the avocados, the fish. And so it's helping the kids see life differently, to experience life differently. And it's an inspiration. We got to see that and hear that, and I know that it's sinking into my beloved's core as well, at the same time as myself sinking in my own core. And then next we went to this Beyond Organic Pharmacy with an F-A-R-M, and it's a macadamia nut farm, but it's so much more. We got to meet Barney there, who came over in 2001 after 15 years of having a janitorial business and other security businesses in San Francisco, and realizing with his 2-year-old that it was time to leave because he was so absent. And his wife told him that, it's like, we feel like you're not even around or present. And it was like a knife to the chest, because he'd been building this thing, building what he thought was the right thing, and also dying on the inside. And so he decided to come and check out Kona on a whim, and none of the places spoke to him until he pulled up this flyer, drove down here, found this land. It was like, this is it. It was like probably a decade of untamed wildness of organic farms that have been let go, and he knew he could clean it up. He spent the next 5 years cleaning it up, and now he's got this beautiful macadamia nut and very low priced fruits and vegetables. 3 for $1 grapefruits? Like, what kind of a land is this? And they're fully beyond organic. It's harvest season. They've got amazing coffee as well, and he really prides himself in this coffee. And so I can't wait to write him and take a little tour of the land if we want. Write and join in for a fully sourced from the earth meal if we want. And really spend some time connecting with people here and learning. And in this learning, we can recreate what's possible. We don't have to invite people out here, but that's another piece of the learning. Do we want to? Do we want to? And who do we want to? I half-jokingly invited my best friend, Paul. And who else is there? There's Denise, there's Courtney, there's Arlo, there's Andrew, there's Kevin and Jody. There's so many possibilities, and it's to remind myself of the possibilities and recognize that, yeah, I definitely want to stay here over Christmas. I definitely don't need to rush away. I definitely have some messages to send out today. I have some receiving to do from Ariel. It's connecting with the land differently. It's having Christmas meals differently. It's not trying so hard, and it's taking it easy, but also creating and preparing for possibilities. There's possible outcomes. There's possible loneliness. There's possible isolation. There's possible frustration. There's possible food deserts, and how to address those possibilities beforehand without waiting for a crisis to emerge and then responding to a crisis. And we invited my parents out here. I'm so grateful we did. They're not going to be able to make it out this time. It was a little bit last minute, a little bit rushed, and that's okay. Wow, look at some of these massive waves. Absolutely massive, as the wind kind of synchronizes and spikes. And just watching how deep some of this goes. And just witnessing how far some of these waves are crashing in. I may need to actually move soon. This is crazy. It's coming further than I thought. All right, I'm going to stop this now and move. Ciao for now.